Welcome to this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report. Well, if you like cold weather, you definitely got it this past week. Some of the coldest air that we have seen around here in an awfully long time. And honestly, it was quite dangerous in some areas. We're talking wind chills of 40, 50, even 60 below zero. And when they're talking about that extreme cold, it doesn't take too long for exposed flesh to freeze, and that's why it's important to really cover up, and we'll talk about that in Todd's Tackle Tips. Well, the cold definitely kept a lot of people off the ice, and and honestly, thankfully so. We didn't want to have any type of issues out there. But those that went out before the cold and then also after the main cold wave, they did find a few fish. A little bit lethargic the past week, but lakes that produce fish this past week up in the northeastern part of the state included Bitter, Waubay, Dry Lake by Clark, Casey Slough, a few being caught at Reed, also Alice, Christopherson Slough, Indian Springs, Midland, Goose, and then also North and South Rush. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes that produce walleyes, Dry Lake by Willow Lake continues to do fairly well depending on the day. Also Ponset, and that bite's kind of tapered off a little bit, but I think that's mainly due to the weather. But also Thompson, Campbell, Henry produced a few walleyes, as well as Whitewood, 81 Ponds, Madison, and Twin. And remember, Twin is the trophy lake. And then as far as the perch bite is concerned around the area, that really took a hit the past week. Just when you thought the perch bite was picking up, that cold weather kind of shut it down a little bit. But the lakes that produced perch this past week included Big Stone, Waubay, Bitter, Christopherson Slough, Dry Lake by Clark, also Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Thompson, 81 Ponds, and then a few being caught at Madison. Now, what have guys been using to catch the walleyes and perch? It really hasn't made much of a difference. This past week, it just seemed like the bite was off, and it really didn't have much of a pattern. But the two spoons that, whether or not you're fishing for perch or walleye, work equally well for both species. One would be the Euro Tackle, the spade spoons, the spade blade. I can't get it out of my mouth. We've sold a lot of these this year, and these have been working well for walleyes as well as perch, depending on the size of the lure. And then the other one is the bull spoon, and that's made by VMC. It comes in two varieties, the regular bull spoon and then also the bladed spoon variety. And the only difference between the two is that one, the bladed spoon, has the blade on the bottom of the treble, as you can see right here. So again, both of these have performed well when you're fishing for walleyes or perch. It really hasn't mattered. But those right there have probably been the two most consistent the past week or two. But again, like I said, this past week the bite was off. And so it really didn't matter what you put down there. It was a struggle in many locations. In this week's edition of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk about two different things. The first one is a new hoodie here at the store. A great hoodie. Three great companies come together at once to have this nice hoodie available here at Dakota Angler. It's a Striker hoodie. You can see Striker long sleeve, and then also our logo, and then the logo of Josh from Pig Patrol. Josh was at our ice show, the Ice Institute, last November, a huge hit, and he has a huge hit on YouTube as well. So if you're a supporter of Josh's or you're a supporter of Striker or Dakota Angler, it's a great way to come by and get a hoodie. They're available here at the store or also available online. So let's get out there and buy those hoodies because it's a great way to stay warm. And speaking of staying warm, the other thing is that all our Striker Apex suits are on sale, over $100 off regular retail price. Now, the reason why I bring these up is because this past week it's been extremely cold, to say the least. And these suits, they're second to none. There's not another suit on the market that's going to keep you warmer when you're out there on the ice or when you're out there snowblowing or doing whatever. The Apex suit is a great suit to have in your arsenal. So again, it's a great opportunity to take advantage of the sale towards the end of the year. And who cares about the end of the year? It's still cold out there, so it's a great time to stay warm and buy an Apex suit for over $100 off the bibs as well as the jacket. And then the other thing is also keep in mind on how to keep your hands warm. A lot of times people will wear gloves. Remember, folks, I've said this time and time again, gloves are great for dexterity, but not necessarily for warmth. The best way to keep your fingers from freezing and staying warm is to wear mittens. And a lot of times you'll have a liner inside that mitten that you can take the mitten off and use that for dexterity. But again, if you want to keep your hands warm out there on the ice or doing whatever, the best way to do it is through mittens because your fingers are closer together and able to keep each other warm. So again, keep that in mind, that what we have left over the next couple of weeks. But again, all our gloves are on sale, so it's a great opportunity to take advantage of these late season deals. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, all you have to do is send it to me, and you can do so by sending it to todd@dakotaangler.com. And before we end this week's report, folks, I need your help with something. If you enjoy watching this report, whether or not you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, I need you to hit that like button. The more likes we get, the better off everyone will be, including us. And be sure to share it with your friends and family as well. The more, the merrier. So again, if you enjoy the 2-Minute Fishing Report each week, hit that like button. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy and always stay safe.